We are buying to feel a part of something. And so if you are actually a part of something, you want to buy a lot less. You're going to look back and think, what was I even spending on? What was I actually buying? 73% of Americans say that their purchases are unplanned. Most shoppers, 89%, report that they have a history of impulse buys. 72% have bought something online because of an advertised discount. And this was the big one. In 2024, the average consumer bought 9.75 impulse purchases a month, averaging $28.90. That comes out to almost $300 a month on impulse purchases that were not planned. Currently, right now, credit card debt is sitting at $1 trillion in the United States. And we know that buying things isn't super great for our financial health. It's not great for the planet. So how can we stop this? So the first thing we can do is understand the psychological way that marketers use these techniques to make you buy products, to make you think you're getting a good deal, to really create that feeling so you impulsively buy without having time to think about it. Because an informed shopper is not what they're looking for. They don't want an informed shopper. They want someone who is acting on impulse, who is acting solely with immediate feeling to get sales. Look, they don't want informed shoppers because that's not their business model. Their business model is not high quality products that last, that they want you to think about, they want you to buy, that they want you to have a good feeling about. They want you to buy it immediately because they know it's not a super great product. They know it's not going to fit well. They know it's going to break quickly. They know it's something that is cheap and inexpensive and you're going to buy it and then it's going to break and then you're going to have to buy another one. They want you acting impulsively. They want you acting without a lot of thought. So they do a lot of tricky, sneaky things to make you do that. So the first step is being aware of what they're doing. Now, the second step is using these strategies to fight back. In order to reset your relationship with shopping, I'm going to need you to set a buy ban. Now, this can vary. I know multiple people have one for 48 hours. Some people have for 2 weeks. Personally, for me, it's been 30 days. And I think it's a really nice thing to start at the beginning of a month. And you can just say, I'm not buying anything that's a non-necessity this month. Nothing. And this is going to give you a lot of time. This is going to give you time to ensure that you're buying and making a purchase that you actually want. And it's going to afford you the creativity that you need to find a proper solution. So one of my favorite examples is this was back in 2018. I used to live here in Berkeley and my office was upstairs and the kitchen was downstairs. And I loved making tea, but my tea would get really cold in my mug. And so I started brewing smaller cups of tea, but then I had this really small cup of tea and I didn't want a small cup of tea. I wanted a big cup of tea. And then I thought, I was kept walking up and down these stairs and constantly boiling water. And it was just this long process. It was really breaking me out of my workflow. And at the time I had a full-time job and I was doing Going Zero Waste full-time. So time was pretty precious. It was a pretty valuable commodity. And I just couldn't get into a good work and flow state. So I was looking at different things I could buy to help solve this problem. So I found this beautiful Breville tea maker. I'm sure it is a lovely tea maker. It's got rave reviews, but it was $214. And I could put this tea kettle upstairs and then I could just have my own little tea station and then I could have tea, all day long. It would be amazing. And I was really excited about this tea kettle. And then because that is not a necessity, that's not a necessity because you also need to get really serious with yourself about what is and what isn't a necessity. I decided I was going to wait 30 days and see if I could find a solution. You know what? I found a great solution. My French press. My French press can be used for coffee. It can also be used for tea. So when I woke up in the morning, I would brew a large batch of tea. It made 32 ounces. I would put it into a big thermos that I already had, and then I would take my small cup of tea upstairs with thermos. That way my tea stayed warm until noon when I could go back downstairs for lunch, brew myself a new pot of tea that I could have for the rest of the day. This solution cost me $0. I was able to find a solution because I allowed myself the creativity to think about what I already had instead of immediately running out and buying a solution to the problem. A second example is this dress I have been wanting for a long time. And now I think we're going on 18 months and I think about this dress constantly. And I'm sure you're thinking, well, Catherine, if you've been thinking about it for that long, maybe you should just buy it. And I want to. It is not a sustainable brand. and it's expensive and I really want it, but I know that I just wouldn't wear it. Where would I wear it? I have nowhere to wear. I have no reason to buy this dress. And last year for a friend's party, she was throwing a prom themed birthday party, and this was my moment for the dress. But I didn't buy it for aforementioned reasons. And buying a dress for a single event is just not a good idea. That is not a good investment. That's not a good investment for my money. That's not buying that expensive of it. That costs more than my wedding dress. It's just not a super great investment for something that I wouldn't wear. If it was something I was going to wear a lot, I might consider it, because sustainable fashion is fashion that you've thought about and you ensure that you're going to wear in something that is going to truly add value to your life. But I'm not sure buying a $300 dress I'm going to wear one time and then just keep in the back of my closet is a good investment. So I have not bought the dress, but instead we did a little clothing swap and a little dress swap with friends, because lots of my friends have lots of wonderful, wonderful items that we can borrow and swap and use and exchange. And you get that dopamine hit, you get something new, you get to spend time with your friends, and you don't have to spend anything at all. And this is coming from someone who shopped a lot. I always shopped super sale. I always shopped a lot at the thrift store. But still, the fact is that I was buying a lot of stuff, and I constantly looked towards buying to solve my problems, when buying often isn't the only solution to a problem. So you really need to get serious, and you need to write out what a need is versus a want. Wanting a new dress to go to a wedding, or needing a new dress to go to a wedding, that's a want. That's a want. Unless you genuinely have zero dresses in your closet, you have zero friends that you can swap or borrow with, you have zero access to any other clothing, then maybe it's a need. And we can talk about how to shop smarter, but you really do need to look at yourself pretty seriously for this challenge. And you don't have to do this forever, but at least for 1 month, so you can start rewiring and finding new connections. You don't need basically anything on TikTok shop. You need your medication, you need food, you need clothing, but you probably already have a lot of clothing. You need a roof over your head. You don't need 8 brand new books. Talking to myself. You don't need a Breville tea maker. Not when you have a device to make tea and you can find creative solutions. So really sit down with yourself, take 5 to 10 minutes, pull that journal out, talk about what you really, truly, truly need, and implement this waiting practice. Now, the next time you're out and you're shopping and you have this little 30-day waiting practice that you're going through and you see something you want, you don't even get to write it down. You don't get to write it down. You look at it, you walk away. Because guess what? If you can still remember what it was within 48 hours, sure, you can write it down. You can put it on a wish list. But I'm going to bet you're not even going to remember what it was 48 hours later. You're going to think, what was that thing I thought that I liked? What was that thing? What was that? And you're not going to know. You're not going to know. And then when you write this down, now you're able to make a smarter and more informed decision, because you still remember it, so maybe you really do want it. And now you can look for it secondhand. You can look for it in a way to shop, and you remove the pressure of that immediacy. You remove that pressure from buying, and it gives you so much more time, and it gives you so much more freedom, and it allows you to make such a smarter purchasing decision. Another thing about being online a lot is that you're going to see a lot of ads, and the absolute worst ones are the ones that prey on fears and insecurity. Now, all marketing does this to an extent, but some of the ones we're seeing on places like TikTok are egregious. They are so bad. I am going to play one of the worst ones I have seen for you. So the opening picture says dies in 2025, war in 2025, and is implying that there's going to be, a massive sickness outbreak during 2025. And look, I mean, we've all read the news, right? We see bird flu. Like, this is a totally valid concern, but using this absolute fear-based marketing tactic to get you to buy something is so sketchy, especially when I just don't know a lot about this brand. Personally, I would have to do a lot more research. Do they have any third-party certifications? What is their history? Like, how are they making this? When have they made this? And what claims are they making? Because if they're claiming that they can cure the flu, that's just not true. It can't. It can't cure the flu. And I just really don't like these deceptive marketing practices, especially when it comes to these wellness items. And I get it. I do believe in holistic wellness, and I do believe that we can use plants and we can use things around us to help boost and improve our health. I also believe in science. I also believe in doctors. And I also believe that we have made some really great advancements in technology and in our health to help us live better lives, because diet will not cure you of cancer. And I really dislike a lot of the discourse online that is claiming that there is no room for science. There is room for science. Not everyone is out to get you. And that's a whole other topic that I just don't even want to touch with a 10-foot pole right now, because we're talking about marketing and we're talking about fear-based marketing. So the next time you feel like you want to buy something because someone has made you afraid. I have also seen a lot of doomsday videos come across my feed where they're trying to sell you all of these things that you need to prep for the end of the world, right? That is fear-based marketing. It is making you want to buy something because it is instilling within you fear. Now, they take things that are partially true. Fact is, I do think people should have go bags. I do think that you should have, an emergency preparedness kit that involves water, that has some food, that has things for you that you're going to need. And they're taking that and they're expounding on that fear in the absolute worst way possible to make you buy a lot of stuff that you probably don't need. So it's just really important, and you should ask yourself, am I buying this from a place of fear? And do I need to talk about this fear maybe in a journal? Do I need to sit with this fear and figure out what I actually need to buy instead of letting your fear motivate that purchase? I feel like journaling might be a reoccurring common theme that we see throughout this video, because a lot of this is sitting with our emotions. And once we sit with our emotions and find how we truly feel, we can move forward and make better and smarter choices. In the US, shopping is so incredibly baked into our culture. And so we need to start reframing our hobbies. Shopping is not a hobby. Buying is not a hobby. Fashion can be a hobby, but that doesn't mean buying. And we have to really disconnect the two. So fashion means studying fashion, looking at fashion, playing with fashion, sewing fashion. There's so many different aspects of fashion that you can participate in beyond just the buying. Now, is buying a part of that? Sure, but we have to disconnect those two hobbies. We have to disconnect the buying aspect of the hobby from the hobby itself. Oftentimes, a lot of our bonds and the way that we form relationships is through buying, which isn't as common around the world, but is something that is so common in the United States. You want to go out? Sure, let's go shopping. That's where we walk, we talk, we buy things, we look at things, we show the things to each other. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my God, we should try that on. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Yes, and it is fun. It is totally fun. But how can we reframe this? If you still want to go shopping, you can go to the thrift store, but if you haven't reframed and done a lot of this work, then I think you might need to hit pause on that really quickly and instead find a new way of bonding. The fact is, when you have this relationship and when you're bonding with other people, oftentimes your desire to buy things goes down. So by removing yourself from the shopping environment, you can spend time with each other and realize how much you just don't need XYZ. You don't need a new shirt. You don't need a new dress. You don't need a new kitchen gadget. Instead, when you spend time with people you care about, you get this lovely sense of fulfillment and contentment. And that's what friendships should bring us. That's what relationships should bring us. They should fill us with joy and contentment with each other's presence, because holding that presence has nothing to do with a thing or with a tool or toy or piece of clothing. With my friend group, we do a vegan supper club, and we do it about every other month. We just had our winter one, and we got together, we played some board games, and we had a delicious meal. Everyone brings a different vegan recipe that is within the theme. So this winter's theme was cozy food, and everyone baked a different dish, and then everyone shares the recipe with everyone. And it's a great way to encourage people to try more plant-based eating. It's a great way to get people to make new recipes. It's such a fun get together that we have. And never once did I sit there thinking, wow, I wish I could go buy something. I never thought, wow, I wish I had a new sweater for this event. Wow, I wish I had this thing. But instead, we were just so much enjoying each other's company that none of that stuff mattered. And the more time I spend with people, the more time I spend in my hobbies, the more time I spend actually doing things and being present, the less I want to buy. Because so much of buying has to do with trying to find community and has to do with trying to fulfill ourselves. We are buying to feel a part of something. And so if you are actually a part of something, you want to buy a lot less. The lonelier you are, the more time you spend on your phone scrolling through these apps, the more time that you see and are exposed to buying, the more you want to buy. I mean, it just makes sense because you are constantly surrounding yourself with people who are buying. And usually you don't have real relationships to these people through the screen, not in a way that's going to be as fulfilling as sitting across from someone and having a conversation, right? And so you see what they're buying, and then buying becomes a way that you find the connection rather than truly sitting down and having the connection. So another way is for you to spend more time in the real world, and to remove shopping as a hobby. So the next time you want to hang out with your friends, don't go shopping. Don't go shopping. How can you reframe this conversation? Can you go on a walk? Can you cook a meal together? Can you sew something together? Can you craft something? I love crafting with my friends. Can you have a dinner party? You know, there are so many different ways that you can create an experience and enjoy something with someone beyond shopping. So in your notebook, because you know what, we're just embracing it. We're embracing the full notebook. So in your notebook, I want you to write down 10 non-shopping activities that you can do with someone. And the next time you want to hang out with your friends, pitch one of those ideas instead. Find a new craft for you to do together. Go out and take a workout class. Go on a walk outside. Enjoy a picnic. Even go to a little cafe. Yeah, sure, that's still spending, but it's not really shopping. And support a local small business. We love supporting our local small businesses right now. There's a cafe that opened up around the corner from my house, and I have a problem. I went there 3 times last week. It's my new favorite place, and it's delicious. And at first I felt bad. And then I remembered I was supporting a small business, and then I didn't feel so bad. So after doing all of those things, let's say you've detoxed for 30 days, you're feeling much more confident with your relationship with buying, because I promise if you are someone who buys and shops a lot, once you stop buying, you're going to look back and think, what was I even spending on? What was I actually buying? Because it's all these little things that just add up that you aren't even aware of most of the time. That's kind of the whole point of impulse purchases. You buy them and then most people have regret. So now that you've detoxed, you're ready to make better decisions. And this starts by asking yourself a series of questions. Next time you're out shopping, you see something you want, you're just going to walk away. Now, if after 48 hours you are still thinking about that item, put that on your list. Now that that has made it to your list and you've evaluated this and you've decided that it's something that you actually do really want, the next thing you're going to do in this 30-day no buy challenge that you're going through is you're going to unsubscribe from any account that makes you feel like you need to buy something. If this is a fashion account that's constantly promoting links, unsubscribe, unfollow. I didn't even know shops did this, but you can download fast fashion apps to your phone to buy clothing, and they will send you notifications when sales and things happen, which is just going to trigger, you wanting to buy stuff. So you're going to delete them. Delete the apps off of your phone. Emails, if you get a lot of emails from different brands wanting you to buy things, you are going to unsubscribe. You're going to unsubscribe from these emails. You are going to check out of all of these advertisements, because the less you know what's happening, the less you want to buy. If you don't know some crazy sale is going on for some clothes that you didn't know you needed, and seeing the sale makes you need those clothes, come here. You didn't need those clothes in the first place. You didn't need them. You didn't need them. Okay? You don't need to be sold a problem you didn't know you had. So you're going to remove yourself. You're going to check out. You're going to check out from all of these things that want you to buy. So you're going to take a step back. This is going to help reduce the amount of urgency, and this is going to help you reduce the amount of things that you buy. Now, this next one for me is a pretty big one. I would love to see a lot more people do it. You're going to cancel your Prime membership. You're going to cancel it. You don't need it. You don't need it. See, the thing is, in Maine, whether you're Prime or not, it takes 7 days to get anything you want. You want it? 7 days. You're on Prime? Still 7 days. There's no reason. Pretty sure there was a lawsuit that came out where Amazon's charging more for the exact same product. So they're still just charging you for the shipping. It's still just baked in. You're not really getting that big of a deal. So if you're someone who orders from Amazon a lot, and a lot of those are impulse purchases simply because you have Prime, simply because you can get it in 2 days, it is time for you to cut cords with Amazon. It is time for you to instead adopt a new way of shipping and shopping. So now that you've had your whole detox time, you're unsubscribed, you've been waiting for 30 days, you are sitting with your emotions, and you have found new outlets and new ways to hang out with people that have disconnected you from these shopping systems. You're out, you see something you like. I'm going to equip you with a series of questions for you to ask yourself before making this purchase to ensure that it is something that is truly going to add value to your life. So if you're out and you see a piece of clothing that you like, you've thought about it enough that it's on your 48-hour list, you're gonna ask yourself, will I wear this 30 times? Will I wear this 30 times? Where will I wear this? Do I have more than one outfit this is going to go with? Do I have anything in my closet already like this item? Because genuinely, we tend to buy a lot of the same things because we like what we like. So before you know it, you wind up with multiple sweaters of the same color in a similar style that are slightly different because you like all of them because you just like that thing. And maybe you just haven't thought about that thing because the thing that you like so much, you've already worn it and it's in the wash, so you just haven't seen it in a while. And then you go out and you wow, I really want that. But you already have one just like it. So, the waiting allows you to make sure you don't even already have something that's just like the thing that you want to buy. And if this is something that is truly filling a gap in your wardrobe, you're going to wear it 30 times, it's something you need, or maybe this is just a straight up replacement from something you have that's been broken and you cannot repair it, go ahead and buy it. Go ahead and buy it. That's totally fine. I want you to buy things that add value and joy to your life. And I want you to save your money and invest your money on things that matter to you that aren't just impulse purchases. Another great one is, if this item weren't on sale, would I pay full price for it? Would I pay full price for this item? Because when it comes to sales, we're often really tricked into thinking, oh my God, that is such a good deal. That is such a good deal. It would be a crime if I pass this up. It's such a good deal. But if you wouldn't pay $50 for that bag because you didn't want it at $50, you probably don't want it at $10 either. You don't really want it. You just want the deal. And I'm not saying that you can't buy things on sale. I'm very pro buying things on sale. I'm very pro getting a good deal. But when you're at the thrift store and you think, oh, I'll just buy it, it's only $1. That's not really a good reason to buy something. Something being $1 is not a good reason to buy something. If you really like it and you really want it and you think it is worth $50, doesn't mean you have to pay $50, but if you think it is worth $50, wow, this construction is really good. This is really worth $50. I would spend theoretically $50 on this because of its quality, because of the color, because I think it flatters me, because this is a really good, solid purchase. That's a fine reason to buy something, and it just so happens to be $1. You're not buying it because of the price, you're buying it in spite of it. Another great hack I like to use is I will go shopping, I will add everything I want to my cart, and I will just close my tab out. It kind of fulfills that desire and that urge to go shopping without actually shopping and actually buying anything. And then maybe, 2 days later, ask yourself, what all did you add to your cart? Can you even remember? Can you even remember what all you put in there? Probably not. You probably can't remember what you added. And if you can't even remember 2 days later what you wanted to buy at the time, you probably don't really want that purchase. So it's all about finding these hacks and these ways that you can de-emphasize shopping and kind of disconnect from those feelings. Because the fact is, I still have those feelings. I do. I still have the urge to shop, but it's how I can reroute it. Another question I really like to ask myself is, would you rather spend this money on something else? Would you rather add that $6 to a fund to go to a concert? Would you rather add that $6 to a fund to go on vacation? Would you rather have this $3,000 a year that Americans spend on impulse purchases to go on vacation? I would. I'd much rather go go on vacation. I'd much rather spend time with the people I love and go out and do something really, really fun and save my money for these experiences that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. Or, that I'm going to at least remember far more than that one pair of shoes that I bought. Most of the time, the pair of shoes I buy is not going to be so memorable that they are a core memory that I'm going to bring with me. But, going on a really nice date with my husband, going out to see a show, going on vacation, getting to spend time with him and, do fun things is a lot more important to me than a new sweater. So it's all about your priorities and where they land. And if you can start viewing these things as future priorities and think of your future self and how much happier your future self is going to be with which decision, you're going to be able to make a lot smarter decisions. So think about how you can reward yourself. This is amazing. You did so well. You didn't buy any impulse purchases that you didn't need this month. That's incredible. You did your whole 30-day buy ban. How can you now reward yourself? Can you go check out a new cafe that you've always wanted to go to? Can you, go to a new restaurant? Can you go to see a musical? Can you go to a concert? And there are so many small things. Like, these don't have to be major expenses, right? I'm going to see a local musical in our town. We can get tickets for $20 and it is such a fun evening. And all of the money we've saved on not buying things, it really truly does add up, and you can help use those purchases to fund what really matters to you. Let me know if you'll be participating in a 30-day buy ban, maybe tackling a whole no buy year. Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please give it a thumbs up and press that big red subscribe button to be notified when new videos come out.